In today's video, I'm going to go through and explain drawing 1, common AutoCAD commands. First thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get yourself familiar with the title block, name, the scale, drawing number, and verify that there are no spelling errors in any of your title block that is points off. Next thing we are going to be looking at is 10 individual commands. Now, from our Schoology account, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be downloading two files. File number 1 is a DWG. File number 2 is a PDF. The PDF is this drawing right here. This will give us an example of what we need to draw. The DWG is to be used in Web AutoCAD. What we're going to do from here is I am going to find a folder that I can go ahead and upload in. Let me refresh the screen. I'm going to go ahead and click upload. From my downloads, I have already downloaded these two files. I just need to upload the DWG. Be careful because you can actually upload a PDF also, but it's not going to do us any good. I'm going to go ahead and click on the DWG. We're going to go ahead and open it. But before we open it, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to rename it. Last name underscore first name underscore your period underscore drawing number. After you've renamed your file, then go ahead and open it. Once the file is open, you are going to notice that there is a white paper that is sitting in front of you. This is called paper space. Now, paper space is what you will see when your drawing is completed. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my mouse and I'm going to not do that. Try that again. I'm going to zoom in. You're going to see that you have to do a couple modifications here. We need to change all these command names to their proper titles. And then you need to go through and you need to fix your title block so that all the information is correct. And also pay attention in here because you're going to notice there is something wrong with the name of the road. Hint, hint, wink, wink. So first thing that we want to pay attention to is our title block. Our title block sits on our paper space. The actual drawing itself is currently being looked at through something called a viewport. And basically a viewport is nothing more than a window into our drawing itself. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pretend that I have gone through and updated all my title block. And then I'm going to go into this model. And the way that you go through and you change your text is hover over the text itself and just double click on it. You can then go and change the name. In this case, it's supposed to be line. I'm going to do that for each one of these. If you make a mistake and somehow it moves, you always have this undo button right here. All right. I am going to go through, complete all these, and then I'll be back. All right, so I've gone through, labeled all my spaces. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get into the commands themselves. In order to be in the commands, I need to have these, one of these tabs opened up. Ideally, we're going to use just properties. So you can just click on the name of it and you're going to notice here's closed. I'm going to click on it again. Here it's open. This is the only way that we can get to our drawing tools or our annotate tools or our modify tools. So in this case, I want to be under my draw. I'm going to use my line command. I'm going to find my center of my drawing area right here, just looking at this grid, using this intersecting point right here. I'm going to left click one time. I'm going to go ahead, come down here to ortho, turn ortho on. That locks in my lines at 90 degrees. You're going to notice that in blue, I have a number. Right now it says 2.2504. I want that number to say 2.5. So on my keyboard, I'm just going to type in 2.5 and hit enter. AutoCAD wants to continue on with the command. I'm just going to hit escape. Next, we're going to go ahead and create a multi-line. Now, a multi-line doesn't exist in AutoCAD web version, which is kind of a stinker because it's a nice little feature. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to use the rectangle command. I'm going to hover over this first endpoint. I'll slide over very slowly until I come up to this first intersecting grid point. I'm going to left click. I'm going to draw downward. Now, again, I've only left clicked. I'm not holding the left mouse button or anything like that. I'm just going to hover over this endpoint here, slide back over this way, and you're going to notice in blue, I have a measurement right now. It says 0.9699. I want to change that to 1 and enter. So now I have a rectangle that's 2.5 units tall and it's 1 unit wide. Next, we're going to go ahead and do the polyline. Now, polyline is a fancy word of saying multiple lines that are joined together to act as one. If I click on this multi-line, oops, you know what? I have to go back to the multi-line because I forgot to do something. I need to break this polyline that I was just talking about. I need to break this down into its individual components so that I just get two parallel lines running next to each other. That's what a multi-line is. So what I need to do is I need to come down here after I've selected the object, which is just a left click. I'm going to click explode. You're going to see nothing happen. That's a good thing. Now I can select on each individual piece this multi-line and I can delete these two pieces here. Now I have two multi-lines or two lines that run parallel to each other. Is there other ways that I could do it? Absolutely. Is this the way I want you to do it? Yes, because now you just learned how to use the explode command. All right, so now let's go ahead and get into the polyline. So polyline is shortcut about P-line, or I can just find the icon that looks like this here. It is first row, last icon. Our polyline is going to be 2.5 inches tall overall, so I'm going to give this a starting point right here. I'm going to give it a direction up of 2 and enter. I'm going to give it a direction going to the right. Now you're going to notice that in our illustration on our worksheet, we have a curve at the top here. In order for us to get a curve on this drawing, what we need to do is we need to look down in AutoCAD's information bar here, or our command prompt, and it's asking us specify next point, or and we have the ability to do arc. So if you notice that there's a capital A here, that capital A is a shortcut, so I don't have to type in the word arc. I can just type in A and enter. I can also just click my mouse on it. You're going to notice that my line has now turned into an arc. I'm going to type in my distance of 1 and enter. AutoCAD's going to want to continue on, so I'm just going to hit escape and get out of that. Next is going to be a polygon. First thing it's doing is asking a number of sides. I'm going to go ahead and hit 5 and enter. Next thing it's asking us is specify center. I'm going to pick approximately this location right here. It's asking us inscribed or circumscribed. And this is referring to a circle. Do you want our 5-sided polygon to fit inside of a circle? Or do you want the 5-sided polygon to sit around the circle? Okay. So basically, is our object going to sit inside of a circle or is our object going to sit outside of a circle? In this case, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to go ahead and let it be its default, which is inscribed. Notice it's in brackets. I'm going to hit enter. And I'm just going to drag my cursor straight up. And I just want to create an object that fits into this box nicely. Next is rectangle command. Well, you guys already learned the rectangle command earlier. So I'm just going to come over here, left click. This time I'm going to show you a little bit different way of entering in your values. I've gotten my start point, so I know everything's good. I'm going to go ahead and hit 1. I'm not going to hit the enter key, but instead I'm going to hit the tab key, which is on your left-hand side just above cap locks. That changes my measurement bar from my horizontal line to my vertical line. So now I can type in 2.5 and enter. Arc, we did arc with a smiley face earlier in this week's lessons. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and review this again for you real quick. For arc, we're just going to find the icon, third icon over under draw. It's asking to specify first point, specify a second point, which is, we're going to go here, and specify a third point, which is right there. We want to create an arc that just kind of looks like this. Next, I'm going to go ahead and create a circle. We're going to find approximately the center of this area, which is about here. I am going to go ahead and draw a circle that has a diameter. So I need to change it from radius because it's saying specify radius. I want to go to diameter. I'm going to type in 1.5 and enter. Next, I'm going to go ahead and create a donut. Now, a donut command is used in electronics for creating circuit boards, usually. Now, unfortunately, again, the donut command doesn't exist in AutoCAD Web, but we're going to figure out a way to make it. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the circle command. I'm going to share this center circle here. I am going to scoot over here. I'm going to draw one circle that has a diameter. So you'll notice, again, I have a capital D, so that's my shortcut. So I can hit D, enter, 0.5. Now I want to get back into the same command again. So I'm going to hit the space bar. I'm going to pick the center point. I'm going to go D, enter, 1, enter. Perfect. Now, this doesn't look exactly like our donut. We need to get it shaded in. So in order for us to get shaded in, what we're going to do is we are going to use the hatch command. I'm going to click hatch. It's now asking us to pick an internal point. I'm going to pick an internal point right here. Once I'm done, it's asking me a whole bunch of other stuff. I don't care. I'm just going to hit the blue check mark. There's our hatching. Now, our hatching is not solid, so what we need to do is we actually need to select on the hatch. Look over in our toolbar over here. We might have to scroll up or down, and we're going to look under properties and see if we can find something that says pattern name. We're going to change this to solid. Next thing that we are going to do is we are going to hit the escape key. That gets us out of the command. We're going to go ahead and do spline next. Now, spline is kind of like what I would explain as a roller coaster. You've got your wooden roller coaster, which is all straight lines that are cut at different angles to make it appear that you get a curve. Whereas a metal roller coaster, you get nice, smooth bends. That's what spline does. It allows us to create nice, smooth bends between multiple points. So I'm going to pick one point here, pick another point. I'm going to bend down here, pick another point. That didn't exactly go what I wanted to do, so I'm going to do a Control Z. Let me try that again. I'm going to turn ortho off for this. I think that was part of my problem. Pick one point, pick a second point, pick a third point, pick a fourth point. Now, normally, if you had straight lines, this would be a heck of a roller coaster to ride on. But with the spline, it makes it so it's actually pretty usable. Now, normally we would just hit escape to get out of the command. Well, we can't do that. If we do, it's going to kick us out of the command, so we actually have to hit enter instead. So now we have a nice roller coaster that any crazy roller coaster fan would love to use. Last command is going to be the ellipse command. I am going to pick a point somewhere up here in the center. I am going to turn my ortho back on. I'm going to type in a distance of 2.5 and enter. I am then going to go ahead and put in a width of 0.5. Once I'm all done, I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Zoom extents. And I'm just going to save it again, just to be on the safe side. Now, I'm going to switch back over to my paper space, and then I'm going to show you what we need to do in order to get our object to print. So I'm going to switch back over to paper space by clicking layout. I am going to click my zoom extents. If, when you go into your paper space, if it shows up as this dark maroon border, that is going to be a viewport into your model space. Okay, so notice I can zoom in and I can move around and everything like that. Well, we want to make sure that we show everything. So we're going to hit zoom extents. And in order to make sure that we are out of this, double click somewhere in this gray area. You will notice that this bar now turns to a light maroon. That's exactly what we want. If I needed to do any modifications to my title block, I can just double click on the text here. Double click on the text. There we go. And sometimes you have to do this a couple times because the Autocad web is a little bit on the difficult side. And then you can make any changes that you need to do. Again, last name, comma, first name. Date is going to be in numerical format. Go ahead, put your month / year, date / year. Make sure you put your period. And then your drawing is always going to be a 0 and then whatever number it is, unless it's, you know, drawing 10 or something like that. From there, go ahead and click save. Can't remember if I hit zoom extents. I think I did. I'm going to click out one time just so I get a little bit of a gray border going around. And then I'm going to do a Windows Shift S. This is going to allow me to use the snipping tool. And I'm going to grab my name. And I'm just going to select that much of my drawing. Ideally, we would use the print feature, but the print to plot to PDF only works at home right now, or when you're off the school's network. If you try to do this at school, you will get an error. Now, obviously, this is talking about this at this moment. However, in the future, this might actually work for us at school. So you can always go ahead and click the plot to PDF. This is the way I'd really like an assignment turned into me. And so long as everything goes good, what will end up happening is we'll get a green check mark next to our plot. If you get a red check mark here, okay, that means that this drawing is no good. It did not generate a PDF for us. So you would have to go and do the screenshot method here. Once you've created the screenshot, the next thing that you are going to need to do is you're going to need to save that screenshot. So let me get out of full what am I trying to say now? Full screen. All right, once you have your snip and sketch, if it doesn't show up like this right away, you have to go down into your notifications found over in this corner here. Mine, for whatever reason, isn't showing up right now. Something to do with my screen capture. But you'll find notifications, and then you'll find an icon of this. You just click on that icon of it, and then it'll open it up. Make sure you do a file save. You are going to save it as the following piece of information. Last name underscore first name underscore period number underscore 01. You are going to save it as a JPEG and then save it, upload it to Schoology. Hopefully it helps you. Good luck.